Newshour Special Edition.
A very good evening. You're watching the Newshour Special Edition. I'm Kritsween Walia. Let's talk about the big story we're tracking this evening. 2 days ahead of the inauguration of the Mahakal corridor in Ujjain, or Mahakal Lok as it is being called, a credit war has erupted between the Congress and the BJP over the project. The Congress has come forward claiming that it was Kamal Nath led Sarkar which drew the sketch of the temple back in 2019 and even sanctioned 300 crore rupees for the very same project. The party claims that the then Congress government also formed a panel to execute the plan. However, the BJP has refuted these claims made by the Congress party, saying that the Saffron party conceptualized the project in 2017 at a cost of 95 crore rupees. The party says that Congress came to power in 2018 and in fact they put the project in cold storage. Here are the war of words that continue to take place from both the sides.
कमल नाथ जी ने मुख्यमंत्री बनते ही उज्जैन के महाकाल मंदिर के विस्तार व सौंदर्यीकरण को लेकर एक योजना बनाई थी। 300 करोड़ की इस योजना को उन्होंने अंतिम रूप दिया था। इसके लिए बजट भी आवंटन किया था और इसको लेकर उन्होंने 3 मंत्रियों की एक समिति भी बनाई थी, जिसमें पीडब्ल्यूडी मंत्री और उज्जैन के प्रभारी मंत्री, नगरीय प्रशासन मंत्री और अध्यात्म मंत्री को शामिल किया था। इन 3 मंत्रियों की समिति ने भी उज्जैन जाकर दौरा किया था, लोगों से इस योजना पे सुझाव मांगे थे। हमने काम भी प्रारंभ किया था, लेकिन हमारी सरकार बीच में गिरा दी गई और अब हमारी सरकार के काम को शिवराज सरकार ने आगे बढ़ाया है। उन्होंने महाकाल मंदिर की जो कमलनाथ जी का विजन था, जो सोच थी, जो योजना थी, उसी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए इस काम को पूरा किया। अब वो इसका श्रेय ले रहे हैं। हमारा कहना है कि आप श्रेय लें, लेकिन यह श्रेय कमलनाथ जी को दें।
कांग्रेस पार्टी जो मैं में लगी हुई है, मुझे लगता है कि ये अहंकार है और अहंकार के अलावा कुछ भी नहीं है। आज से 10-20 साल पहले अगर देखें तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी जब अपने संस्कार, संस्कृति, अध्यात्म की रक्षा की बात करती थी, कांग्रेस पार्टी हिंदुओं पर सवाल उठाती थी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का ये सौभाग्य है कि जो महालोक बन रहा है, जो इतना भव्य परिसर तैयार हुआ है, जहां पर देश नहीं विदेश से अपितु पूरे विश्व भर से लोग आकर दर्शन करेंगे शिव जी के, ये सौभाग्य की बात है कि हम निमित्त मात्र बने हैं। आज मध्य प्रदेश की शिवराज जी ने जिस परिकल्पना को लिया था, जिस संकल्प को लिया था, आज वो पूर्ण होने जा रहा है और मुझे लगता है कि इसके लिए पूरे प्रदेश भर में एक उत्साह का माहौल है।
ज़्यादा पैसा केंद्र सरकार ने दिया, करीब 700 कुछ करोड़ रुपए उस कॉरिडोर में बनने के लिए लगा हुआ है। और अब जब शिवराज चौहान जी की सरकार आई तो उसको पूरी तरीके से किया और अभी कुछ कार्य बाकी भी ऐसे जो लगातार चल रहा है। तो कांग्रेस उसका बेवजह श्रेय लेने का प्रयास कर रही है। कांग्रेस इतने दिनों से काम करती रही केंद्र में, लोगों को आवास नहीं दिए, शौचालय नहीं दिए, बिजली के कनेक्शन पैसे लेकर के भी नहीं दिए कि पैसे में ही उनके कनेक्शन हो जाए, लोगों को सुविधाएं देने का नाम पर जीरो रही हमेशा। तो वो बेवजह की श्रेय लेने का काम क्यों कर रही है?
It's not just the BJP, the VHP has also come out to hit out at the Congress party. VHP Surendra Jain took potshots at the Congress for their bid to claim credit over the project. He in fact said this is nothing but appeasement politics by the grand old party.
क्रेडिट लेने की वही कोशिश करता है जो जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं कर पाया। कांग्रेस की पुरानी परंपरा हिंदू तीर्थों का अपमान करने की है, विकास करने की नहीं है। कमल नाथ जी के इतिहास से कौन नहीं जानता। उन्होंने मुस्लिम समाज के नेताओं की बैठक में कहा था, सब इकट्ठे होकर हमें वोट दो वरना मोदी जी आ जाएंगे। मैं समझता हूं वो मुस्लिम तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति करते हैं, जिहादियों के साथ खड़े होते हैं, हिंदू धर्म और हिंदू तीर्थों के विनाश का काम करते हैं, वो विकास नहीं कर सकते।
While the ancient Mahakaleshwar temple in Ujjain has received a big makeover, the first phase of the redevelopment plan is over and is set to be inaugurated on the 11th of October. That's just 2 days away. And in a tweet this morning, the Madhya Pradesh Congress termed Kamal Nath an example of Shraddha and Bhakti. The Congress says it's them who have turned this project into a reality. So is that true? Why this controversy ahead of the inauguration? Is the Congress the real deal maker here? Or as the BJP put it, the Congress is being an opportunist given the magnitude and the significance of this project? Let's quickly open this up. We have our guest joining us this evening. We have Ujjain Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP. Also with us is Mr. Anurag Naidu. We have Kapil Madan, political analyst, and Kamru Choudhury, who's also with us, leader from the Congress party. Mr. Choudhury, I want to begin by asking you, amidst these preparations that are underway, amidst the features that everyone is focusing on as far as this grand corridor goes, perhaps instead of, congratulating the Shiv Bhakts, why is it that the Congress party felt the need to rush ahead and claim credit for this project?
Well, good evening, Ms. Walia. Basically, the first thing, Congress party and the citizens of India rather today will be very happy that the mythological city of Ujjain is receiving a tourism boost and a huge infrastructure is being developed out there. A city where Sri Krishna received his education, a city of poet Kalidas or even Emperor Vikramaditya. So we cannot deny the historical significance of the city in the first place. Now, you see, one thing, just let me ask you, Ms. Walia, that Ujjain was supposed to be a smart city. What happened to that project? Is it on track, or still the pothole roads are there where cows and pigs roam the streets of Ujjain? This is a pure propaganda by the Bharatiya Janata Party, who want to prove once and again that they are the thekedars of the Hindu religion. But the fact remains that Kamal Nath ji had sanctioned 300 crores for expansion of the Mahakal temple, one of the 12 Jyotirlingas that is there, revered by the Hindus all across the world. It was Kamal Nath ji's Congress government which conceptualized the entire project. One small thing, let me add out here.
Okay, no.
America has developed into a very big, one of the
even as Kamal Nath claims that it
but
was
you know who
in August 2019 that his
Columbus
government drew the sketch of the Mahakal temple, allocated 300 crore rupees for it. Mr. Choudhury, hold on. And a 3-member ministerial committee was appointed to finalize and execute the plan in a time-bound manner. You're telling us all this. But does the Congress then dispute the claim that the plan was conceptualized in 2017 under Shivraj Singh Chauhan?
In 2018, as far as I know, okay, let me put it this way. Let the BJP present government deny it officially that they have not taken the blueprint from the Congress government, which they removed from power unethically. Let them first deny it. Then we'll come out with our official statements. Because the entire projects that the Bharatiya Janata Party is carrying out right now in India have always been conceptualized under the UPA regime, under the Congress governments in different states. They've just changed their names and want to create a a hype over those by doing a massive propaganda. Okay. And you see the entire ecosystem is coming out and saying,
by the Congress party and the BJP wants to take the trophy away. All right, let's take in a word from the BJP. We have Ujjain Sinha with us. Yes, Mr. Sinha, what would you say?
Well, good evening to you and to all the viewers. Well, it is very amusing. It doesn't suit the Congress brand of secularism to suddenly jump into the fray and claim credit for the renovation of a temple, because the last time the Congress can claim to have stood up for the cause of a temple was way back in the late 1940s when Sardar Patel, the great Sardar Patel, actually restored the Somnath temple, which was destroyed by invaders centuries back. After that, the Congress has only focused on running down the Hindu faith. In fact, the judgment of on the Ram temple had been delayed to such an extent. The Congress had a big role in that as well through its infamous lawyer Kapil Sibal at that point of time. Now, this particular project, is an extension of the civilizational state which we are trying to develop, and lots and lots of these. There are many other temples which are equally being developed, whether it was the Kashi Vishwanath temple or other temples in Uttar Pradesh. Now, the Congress today is so desperate, as you yourself have mentioned, the plan was conceptualized in 2017 without a significant contribution from the central government. This would not have fructified, this would not have seen the light of the day in such record time. But the Congress today is so desperate that tomorrow it might claim credit also for the abrogation of Article 370. It realizes that minority appeasement has not done it any good, while at the same time it has lost a major chunk or the majority of the majority vote. So this shows the Congress desperation.
Okay. So why this sudden love for Shraddha and Bhakti? I'd like Kapil Madan to come in.
Once for 10 seconds.
No, Kapil Madan, one second. I need to take in a word from Kapil Madan. You know, we're also talking about the same Congress party, and I'm going to quote a few instances. Digvijay Singh called Gyanvapi movement a political exercise of the BJP. Those were his words. In fact, Congress's Pramod Tiwari also called Gyanvapi another Ayodhya. And the list is endless. You have the likes of Ashok Gehlot, who called it BJP's policy to destroy the nation. So didn't the Congress also back the Places of Worship Act amid the Gyanvapi Rao? There are a series of instances, and now the BJP is questioning why this change of heart. Kapil Madan.
Now let me respond. Let me give you a very good historical fact. There was a report that was published in 2017 that said that out of 21 major policies of the government, 17 policies were initiated under the UPA, and what Modi government did, they only changed the name of those schemes. And having said that, let me come to the issue at hand. Now, issue at hand is who has basically conceptualized this project. Now, when a government takes a decision, the decision is taken at a cabinet level. There are file notings, there are approvals, and as far as my information is concerned, the amount of 300 crore rupees was sanctioned during the Kamal Nath government. If Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan disputes this claim, Tuhin is here, why don't you make the official file notings public? That will basically, clear all the air. Who has approved, who has conceptualized, and how this plan was, came into the execution. Now, coming back to your second question, you say that, the Congress is questioning, you've taken few instances of where you have quoted Mr. Digvijay Singh and, Mr. Pramod Tiwari. Now, the fact that the Congress has conceptualized, they made the blueprint, they sanctioned the loan for the development of the Mahakal project shows what? Shows that the Congress is not giving any kind of, they're treating all the religions equal. They want to promote all the regions equally. And it is a false narrative, a false charge that, always created by Tuhin and his other spokesperson that the Congress is anti-Hindu, or the Congress is not anti-Hindu. Congress is against the fact that in the name of religion you're making one person fight with the other.
But hasn't Rahul Gandhi, for example, who is a very, very prominent leader in the Congress party, multiple times drawn a parallel between Hindutva and violence?
10 seconds.
That's giving the BJP ammunition to make those kind of charges.
That's a fact.
Is the question for me?
Yes, Kapil Madan.
That's a fact. Hindutva.
Now, can you please come again? I think someone was speaking. I could not
No, I'm
hear.
just meaning to ask you, is that the reason why Rahul Gandhi on multiple occasions has drawn a parallel between Hindutva and violence? Because the Congress party is so very secular in its thought process.
Now, let me tell you one thing. When you create any kind of violence in the name of religion, be it any religion, the violence needs to be condemned. The fact that you are using the name of the religion and doing some act of violence, and now we are talking about MP. Do you remember there was one gentleman who was selling bangles. He was beaten black and blue just because of the fact that he belongs to a Muslim community. Do you recall a fact that one gentleman was killed under a belief that he belonged to a Muslim community, and later it was discovered he was not a Muslim? Now, when you have incident like this, and when you have a government that does not condemn incident like this, then what else do you expect for? Now, you have their leader
But that's been the counter charge, Kapil Madan, that condemnation has to come in for the Congress party as well, for anybody belonging to any religion involved in any kind of crime. We'll put that thought on hold. I'll come back to you. I want to take in a word from Mr. Naidu. Mr. Naidu, what do you think? Because this is not the first time we've seen a credit war take place. Akhilesh Yadav claimed credit when Prime Minister Modi inaugurated Kashi Vishwanath corridor. We've also seen Congress accusing the BJP of stealing credit in cases of Rafale, GST, and even the launch of INS Vikrant for that matter. How does the BJP then have to respond to these spate of allegations as far as stealing credit is concerned? This has been an ongoing issue between the BJP and several opposition parties. What do you make of this? What does this really amount to?
Yeah, Kritsween, I think more than, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. But more than all the credit taking, my larger concern is it is a very definitive shift of Congress, from one ideology to other ideology. And I think India will not believe it. The reason being very simple. All these days, all these years, when BJP spoke about, and I'm speaking in the capacity of an analyst and not a BJP person, but I can tell you when Ayodhya temple was being, contested, and when Sardar Patel statue was being built, it was Congress who came out and say, you could have put this effort in building hospitals, you could have put this effort and money in spending schools and colleges, and we don't subscribe to the philosophy of you splurging money on temples and statues. So, and from there, he has now shifted to claiming credit for a temple. And what else? I mean, Mahakaleshwar temple, the name itself suggests it's Lord of Time. Now, let's go by the timelines. Last 16 years in Madhya Pradesh, it has been Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan as the Chief Minister for 15 years. So Congress was only for 1 year, 97 days. And all their credit, all their claiming is everything that is happening around Mahakaleshwar temple is our credit. So if there is no logic with the timeline. So what we have to understand here is the claim is because of the Gujarat elections. Last time around, Rahul Gandhi did a makeover, went around all the temple hopping, and he felt maybe he's getting some kind of attraction, and they want to probably repeat the same, keeping Gujarat elections forthcoming. And I think this is one kind of a very tactical shift in ideology, but I think India will not believe it, because ideologically they've never been subscribing to the fact that we should have best of the temples, we should have best of the infrastructure in the corridors, so that it also gives boost to the economy for the local people. It also gives boost to the tourism, pilgrim, and all such things. So this is a very inclusive ideology which they were always against.
Okay. I believe Mr. Choudhury wanted to come in while Kapil Madan was speaking. Mr. Choudhury, go ahead. Also, to add to what has been said by the BJP spokesperson, while we're talking about how the Congress party is trying to project Kamal Nath as an epitome of Shraddha and Bhakti, there is an interesting fact that I want to bring to the focus of all our panelists. Shouldn't the Congress then answer why Kamal Nath was accused of discontinuing a special pilgrimage scheme for senior citizens? This was, of course, back in time, back in the day. But there are a series of instances that really put that question as to why can this kind of a faith or this kind of a placing faith in the Jyotirlinga or the Mahakal corridor really be taken at face value. Kamal Nath also accused of appeasing minorities when the SDM of Sehor district asked the management committee of an old Lord Shiva temple to remove the loudspeakers to avoid facing a legal action. These have been instances that have happened in the past. So who do we really believe here?
Now, Ms. Walia, one thing, you have got a prejudiced opinion about things. After A, you directly go over to D. You must remember there is a B and C in between. So don't add the dots as you are spoon-fed. Your agenda that you are getting on WhatsApp daily. The basic point out here, this entire project in Mahakaleshwar corridor that is there, Mahakal Lok as the Madhya Pradesh government calls it, it's a tourism boosting project. It has got nothing to do with religion per se. It has nothing to do with the mandir as such. It is for augmentation of the facilities of the tourism of various beautification projects around there. So it has got nothing to do with the temple issue or religion as such.
So then it
Second
will
point that I want to put out
here.
Congress party does not believe in mixing religion.
And waste your time while claiming credit for it. The government will get its due. Benefits will be given to the people of the state. If this is not about religion or claiming credit, then why fight over the issue to begin with? Let's talk about,
Miss
how
Walia,
the
Miss Walia,
premises is being magnified. Let's talk about the beautification that is taking place.
Yeah, of course, I said in the first instance only, Ujjain is gaining out of all these projects. But the basic point, we from the opposition benches, we need to call out the hypocrisy of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Because the propaganda they do once religion comes into play, this fellow Arun Singh, the National General Secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Party, he has issued a circular from the Bharatiya Janata Party for this event that is going to take place on the 11th. The propaganda, the money machine that is going to be spent on that day, that look, BJP is building up a new mandir, is building up what Congress could not do for the Hindus. We are doing that. That is the attitude that the Congress party is fighting against. Don't take credit that is already there. You are spending my money, Walia, your money.
Okay.
Even Tuhin Sinha's money on this project.
Okay. All right.
This
so
is
you're
for the
raising
betterment
questions
of the
at the
country,
BJP, asking questions of the BJP. Let Mr. Sinha come in for a quick response and I'll have to wrap up thereafter. Yes, Mr. Sinha.
Congress has been logically challenged lately. Now, I am challenging them to show me one newspaper article. If they say it has been approved, just 2 years back in 2019, I'm challenging them to show one newspaper article that says that. No, please don't respond. Please don't barge in between. That Kamal Nath has approved the project. So are you trying to say that Kamal Nath wanted to build the project, but at the same time he wanted to be so discreet, so surreptitious that probably he was worried because of the minority? This doesn't, there is no logic in it. Secondly, I think before Congress claims project for such civilizational causes, I think they owe an apology to the country for filing an affidavit in the Supreme Court way back in 2005 that Bhagwan Ram does not exist. And finally, I'm challenging Rahul Gandhi, if he really cares about the sentiments of Hindus, he can still tweak his itinerary of the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Maybe he can include places like Ujjain and Ayodhya.
Okay.
I mean, why is he... all his sentiments
the only concern here is because this is a recurring pattern. For example, how Kamal Nath also attempted to steal credit following the Ram Janmabhoomi verdict, claiming that Rajiv Gandhi was the one who opened the doors of the structure, comfortably forgetting how the Congress party enacted the Places of Worship Act to make it impossible to change the character of the structure. That's exactly why this question comes into place, and we're just hoping that this is not a pattern that we have to keep facing and keep seeing time and again with regards to every big project or every big change that is about brought in. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We'll have to leave it at that and wrap it up for now. Thank you for joining us on this debate.